Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh, Shemal, Shabbat, Shalom, Kodash, Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. And I'm going to title this video, which show the work of the law written in their hearts. So you had this video, and I heard this before from the Dr. Umar Johnson. So this is put up by Oshay, Duke Jackson. Tariq Nasheed teaches Dr. Umar about how 304s can't be saved. Tariq Nasheed teaches Dr. Umar about how 304s, now, if you don't know what a 304 is, look it up and come back and see me, can't be saved. So, okay, this is an 11-minute video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from frame to frame. I'm not going to let you hear it because you know how YouTube do. So it says, but I want to be clear. Let me do this. But I want to be, let me move on. Of us love our children, but some of our children are so far going, maybe going is what he actually said, that we're going to have to put some of them to sleep put some of them to sleep in order to take back the neighborhood. Some of y'all don't want to hear that because you don't live in reality, but this proves that Dr. Umar is a Jake. He's speaking from the heart. Reality, but I'm telling you as a psychologist, I'm not going to be able to psychologize all of them. Really, none of them. What did what's his name? Mr. Sims say in the movie? Was that what the hell is that movie? Something in the Hood, Horror in the Hood. I got the DVD somewhere. Tales from the Hood, Tales in the Hood. So you had this character, is a funeral director named Mr. Sims. I don't know if you saw the movie, but he made a statement almost at the end of the movie. He turned into the devil. He made a statement. He said, "Do you rehabilitate them?" I'm talking about Jake, men in the hood, drug dealers, stick-up kids, gangbangers. You know, just completely out of order, like wild animals escape from the zoo, which goes back to menstruous woman shall bring forth monsters, and that really means deformities, but it also means these jakes that act like monsters. And I'm also going to go into Deuteronomy chapter 21 to back up the statement that Dr. Umar Johnson is making here. So it says, a psychologist, I'm not going to be able to psychologize all of them on the corner. Some, really all, apologize all of them on the corner. Some of them going to sleep. That's hood vernacular for they're going into the spirit world. Some of them going to sleep. God, well, if you didn't know, your boy, Dr. Umar has made a statement about this is Oshay talking. So you heard it, and in other words, he said these boys in the hood. He's talking about the boys. He said, you can't rehabilitate them. Like Mr. Sims said, do you rehabilitate them? He said, no, you just kill them. Watch the movie. At the end of it, so some of them going to sleep. And he said it, and they're going to be put to sleep in that Arya voice. When Arya screamed at the top of his lungs. So he said it from the heart. Now, why did he say it? Why did he say these boys in the hood, these gangbangers, these drug dealers, these stick-up kids, these kids that run in the stores and we used to do that when I was a kid. Hang out with a little crew of little maggots, black maggots. And I used to do that shit as a kid. I'm talking about 10, 11 years old, but I was following the crowd. You had someone that was in the teens. We used to go in the stores and just grab shit. And I never felt good about doing that shit. Never felt good. And the Most High brought me out from among niggas in the hood. He brought me out from that. I got into the martial arts, so I was like dedicated. Then I got into boxing. So I really wasn't, there was a point where I wasn't hanging with niggas in the hood. And they ain't about nothing. Bottom line, they ain't about nothing. Believe me, I've been with them. Most of them is dead or locked up or look like they in their 60s, look like they're in the 80s. So I'm going to read a scripture. This proves that Umar Johnson is an Israelite. He's supposed to be Manasseh. He said that is on his father's side is Manasseh. So he might be a so-called Cuban, which is an Israelite anyway. And then you got Negro Cubans out there. Remember, when the slaves came over from Africa, America wasn't the U.S. wasn't the first place they went to. It was South America. It was Dominican Republic, these other South American countries. Those were Jake. That's why you got dark-skinned other various tribes, because those they go back to Judah, Benjamin, Levi. So a lot of these Simeonites are actually Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and some Indians, mestizos. Go ahead, like I said, you got Israelites that look like Edomites. So now let me back up what he said in the scripture. And he was saying it from the heart. Okay, Romans 2. We're going to read the 14th verse. You can read the whole chapter, the 14th verse. And Romans 2, verse 14 and 15. For when the Gentiles are Israelites that don't necessarily know that they're Israelites. Give you an example. Cornelius was raised up as a heathen, but his line go back to the Israelites. So he came back into the fold knowing that he was an Israelite and believing in the Messiah. For when the Gentiles, which have not the law, meaning the laws of the Most High, Umar Johnson's not going into the Torah, reading out the Torah. He's a psychologist, and he's speaking sense. Do by nature, the statement that he made, the things contained in the law, because he's quoting the law, but he doesn't know. He's not saying, well, give me Deuteronomy 21. These, having not the law, meaning the laws, statutes, and commandments, are a law unto themselves. So when the man was speaking, he was quoting the law in his own words. 15th verse, which show the work of the law written in their hearts. The new covenant will be fully fulfilled when the part of the new covenant that is fulfilled is Yahushua coming and being a lamb for the Israelites, starting with the elect, but ultimately all Israelites. The 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 thing that's going to finish the full fulfillment of the new covenant is when we are changed and we're programmed to keep the laws. So we're not in the full fulfillment of the covenant, because it says in the new covenant, it says you should not be, you won't speak to a neighbor saying, know thee the Lord, for all shall know it. You got Israelites, your father don't know the laws. He don't know he's Israelite. Your mother, your aunties, your nephews, your cousins, your friends, your sons, your daughters, unless you teach your sons and daughters. Your next door neighbor, that's a Jake, they don't know the laws. When are we going to all know the laws? In the kingdom. In the kingdom. So that's why there's going to be a change. 1 Corinthians 15, not about the 50th verse on down, we're going to be changed. And once we are changed, we're going to be perfect beings of the Most High. It said, will show the work of the law written in their hearts. So the work of the law is written in Umar Johnson's heart. Their conscience, their mind, also bearing witness. Didn't he just not bear witness? Did he just not make a statement, a testimony? He bear witness to what? The law, Deuteronomy 21. And their thoughts, the mean, while accusing or else excusing one another. See, Jake knows in their heart that being and one of them is wrong. They know it in their heart. That's why when Obama presented it to the churches wasn't having that, because they know in their heart that's not right. You know what I'm talking about. But Obama didn't have no problem with it because he's a heathen. Till he prove otherwise. So now let's go to the actual law, and I'm going to close it. Deuteronomy 21, verse 18. If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, that's what Umar spoke about, a stubborn and rebellious, he said them niggas in the hood, them stick-up kids, them drug dealers, them boys out there. It's mostly boys, but now you got Israelite girls doing it. So they're just as wild, or even wilder than the boys. So the Most High is going to just, spray him with fire, get rid of them. It says if a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, in this case, it's the daughters. It's the daughters now. These are super Negroes. These are high breed demons. You got black women that'll fight you. They'll put up, and there's black women that'll beat up Jake because that's them demons in her ass, man. You can't save them. You don't rehabilitate them. Do you rehabilitate them? No, you just kill them, like Mr. Sims said, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother. In this case, the voice of his mother, because the father's not even in the house. Because you niggas are absentee parents. So the whole Jake household is, for the most part, 95% is completely out of order. You have boys that are raised only by their mothers. And they just out of control. They're like wild animals escaped from the zoo. Let me go deeper. Escape from the jungle. And that when they have chastened them, beat them, then this is when he's about 12, because you come into manhood when you're 12, because you come under the covenants. Will not hearken unto them. And is that happening in America? You got damn right. Then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him and bring him out unto the elders of his city and unto the gate of his place. Now, if Dr. Umar was there, they'd say, well, let's call Dr. Umar. What do we do with this situation? He said, put him to sleep, put him to death. And they shall say unto the elders of the city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton. He eats all day, and a drunkard. You want to play like you got niggas that play video games all day. They'll wake up 3 in the afternoon and they'll go out and at night causing mischief. And all the men of the city shall stone him with stones. What's a modern day stone? A gun. Gun bullets are made out of, but projectiles are made out of stone, come from the earth. So when you shoot them up, that means you stoning them to death. That's a modern day stoning. And all the men of the city shall stone him with stones that he die. So shall thou put away evil away from among you, and all Yasha Allah shall hear and fear because they want to see it. So somebody gonna get, oh, look at this guy, polite. Everybody named Mama had their eyes on that trial with polite because they wanted to see him go down. All them fellow black conscious motherfuckers, they all wanted him to go down. They were like, yeah, that nigga going down. And if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, being a lazy bum is a sin unto death. And he be to be put to death, and thou hang him on a tree, his body shall not remain. So this is what we did. Now, are we to do it now? No, because we're a kingdom under exile, so we got to deal with the laws. We can't do certain things with the law of Moses or the law of the Most High in this kingdom. You can't, like if a woman, husband and a man fight, the woman get involved, she grabs at the man's privates and injures him. What the penalty is that is both her hands get chopped off. All right, so that can't happen. You know, we under this man's authority, so we can keep we can keep so many laws in this society. Act of adultery, you can't put nobody to death because you're gonna get locked up. So anyway, I didn't see the rest of this. I'm gonna see the rest of this after I close this video. So that was the spirit speaking through this man. So with that, it's on to the next one. Shalom.